deep down you believe you're too much when you're emotional, or that once you allow yourself to feel your emotions, the floodgates will open and you won't be able to stop, then this video is for you. Because what most people call self-soothing isn't soothing, it's actually avoidance. Hey, I'm Kristen. I'm a psychotherapist and I work with people who look put together on the outside, but feel emotionally overwhelmed or disconnected on the inside. And today we're talking about self-soothing, what it is, what it isn't, and why so many of us were never actually taught how to do it, especially if you grew up in a home where feelings weren't exactly welcome. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the psychology behind real self-soothing, but you'll also learn where your patterns likely came from and how to begin shifting them. So let's start with the part that trips most people up. When clients come to me struggling with anxiety, perfectionism, or emotional shutdown, the conversation often circles back to this. I'm doing everything I can to cope, so why does this keep happening? And usually, when I ask what they're doing to soothe themselves, they'll say things like, I try to distract myself, or I'll light some candles and take a bath, or I try to meditate, but it doesn't really help. And listen, none of that is wrong. They can be helpful, but distraction isn't the same as self-soothing. Self-soothing is not about avoiding discomfort. It's about learning to stay with yourself when things get hard, without running from it, numbing it, or trying to fix it. So here's the hard truth. Most of us never learned to self-soothe because we weren't soothed in the ways in which we needed when we were kids. When you were a baby, you had no ability to regulate your emotional states. So you relied on a caregiver, ideally somebody calm, emotionally attuned, and safe, to help your nervous system settle through touch, voice, and presence. This is something called co-regulation, and it's how kids build the wiring for self-regulation later on. But what happens when that caregiver is depressed or anxious or inconsistent or emotionally detached? You still learn something, but it's not safety, it's survival. And in survival mode, you may have learned to shut down and disconnect, disregard your needs, become hyper independent, perform, please, or perfect to earn a sense of security. Which means now, as an adult, your default is to suppress or escape discomfort, not to stay with it. So what is real self-soothing? It's not an outcome, it's not a quick fix. It's the capacity to stay emotionally present with yourself when your brain is screaming, make this feeling stop. It's the ability to feel sad without spiraling into shame, to feel anxious without trying to control everything around you, to feel disappointed without telling yourself to get over it. It's subtle, but it's powerful, and it's not always relaxing. In fact, the process can feel uncomfortable because you're rewiring a system that was trained to flee. So let me give you a real example. Let's say you get constructive criticism at work. Nothing major, just some feedback, but suddenly your body tenses and your thoughts spiral and you're on edge the rest of the day. So what's actually happening? Your adult brain is responding to a childhood belief. Maybe when I mess up, it means I'm not good enough, or if I disappoint someone, I'll be rejected. In that moment, your system isn't looking for logic, it's looking for safety. But because your coping toolbox is limited to either control or shut down, your only option is to overperform or numb out. This is where self-soothing comes in. If you can pause, notice the pattern, name the feeling, and offer yourself a steady internal response, this is hard, but I'm not in danger, then that's real self-soothing. And it's not always pretty. Sometimes it looks like putting a hand on your chest and saying, I'm here with you, or letting the tears come instead of choking them down, or choosing not to over-explain yourself, or journaling just to witness your emotions, not fix them. This isn't about regulating to silence your emotions, it's about staying connected while you feel them. And if this feels hard for you, it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's probably because you've been wired to survive by disconnecting. So your job now isn't to get it perfect. It's to get familiar with your own patterns, to pause long enough to notice them without judgment, to build a different kind of response, one small moment at a time. That's what real emotional safety feels like. Not control, not calm all the time, but connection. If this is something you've been trying to figure out, how to actually shift your emotional patterns, especially the ones rooted in childhood, I go much deeper into this in my book, Unpacked. We look at the deeper beliefs that shape how you show up in all areas of your life, relationships, work, parenting, and most importantly, your relationship with yourself. So if you're self-aware but still stuck in these loops that are doing more harm than good, Unpacked was written for you. I'll leave the link below if you want to check it out. And if this video helped you, feel free to like, share, or comment, especially if you're someone who's been stuffing your emotions down for way too long. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.